Hey y'all, Patty B here. I'm at Ole Miss on a huge game day weekend, Ole Miss versus LSU. While everybody's talking football, I'm over here eyeing the landscaping. Colleges like this have hundreds of acres to take care of, but they still manage to keep their gardens looking gorgeous with a pretty small crew. That means the plants they use are tough, low maintenance, and budget friendly, exactly what we home gardeners need. Today, I'm going to show you how to steal your college's planting playbook for your own yard. And of course, we'll soak up some of that famous Ole Miss tailgate hospitality along the way. Let's take a stroll. First stop, the Circle, right in the heart of campus. And this is where we had our tailgate. Just beyond the Circle is the Lyceum, which is the building where the chancellor's office is housed. Look at these clean foundation beds. You'll notice a lot of evergreen hollies and knockout roses for color and nandina shrubs. These plants thrive because they can handle the Mississippi heat, humidity, some deer pressure, and even a little neglect. Universities don't have the manpower to baby their plants, so when you're wondering what will survive in your yard, take a campus stroll. If it's thriving on your college campus with almost no fuss, it's a safe bet it'll do great at home too. Another tip you can steal: plant in big drifts instead of onesies and twosies. It's cheaper to maintain and it makes a bigger visual impact. These mountain hydrangeas are an example of planting in big drifts, and these are tucked in just the right spot in the corner of the Lyceum building where they get morning sun and afternoon shade. You'll notice that the leaves are green and really good looking with not much burn on the tips, and I believe that's because they get just the right amount of sun. Now right here they have looks like a Japanese maple in what appears to be a big planter. So I'm sure they have drip irrigation run to those planters, and the bottoms of the planters may even be hollow where the roots can grow into the native soil perhaps. But either way, these maple trees are stunning. See those buds? Those are future blooms. Oh, look at that butterfly. I bet it's coming from the Pollinator garden. Let's go see it. There are several pollinator gardens on campus, and in each garden there's a QR code that you can scan that will take you to the website where it lists the campus's sustainability practices and using things that will plants in their garden beds that will attract pollinators and all that's good for nature. And in this bed they used lots of echinacea, black-eyed Susans, lantana. They used big drifts of lantana everywhere, which was absolutely stunning. And that gives me an idea. I need to get more lantana and put it around in my flower beds. It's big impact for little money and no maintenance. That's what I'm talking about. They've got it down pat. In their pollinator garden beds, they also used lots and lots of dwarf zinnias, which I thought was a really good idea for me to steal and use in my flower beds. You can start dwarf zinnias from seed and get all kinds of colors and plant hundreds and hundreds of zinnia plants in your garden beds for very little money. So that's a good tip. Another good tip is to use different types of grasses in your flower beds. I love this icy blue colored grass right here. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but it's gorgeous. And I noticed in their garden beds that they also used a tall grass like a miscanthus or something like that that had a seed head plume on the top that was very interesting and makes for garden interest year round. Now, no trip to Ole Miss on game day is complete without a visit to the Grove and the Circle. Y'all, the hospitality here is legendary. Look at these tents. Chandeliers, tablecloths, the works. There's gumbo bubbling in one corner, pulled pork in another, and all of it under the beautiful old oak trees that shade the whole Grove and Circle. And look at the flower arrangements. People go all out. And I'll insert a little footage of me making our flower arrangements. I have to say, Ole Miss came out on top against LSU today. Woo-hoo! But win or lose, the real winner is anybody who gets to experience this tradition. I love how the landscape and the culture come together. It's just classic Southern charm. cute.
You got a cupcake on your face, girlfriend.
She said yes because it's so good.
Hotty toddy.
Bam, 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 Ole Miss, my name.
So, what's the big lesson? If you're looking for easy, long-lasting, low-care plants, take a cue from places that have to stretch every landscaping dollar. Here's your playbook, straight from campus. Choose deer-resistant evergreens like boxwoods, hollies, and alyssum for your backbone. Use flowering shrubs like camellias or knockout roses for seasonal color. Plant magnolia trees or something that would do well in your area for glossy green interest all year round. Repeat plants in groups instead of scattering singles, like these dwarf zinnias they have planted here. Find an ornamental grass that you like that will bring interest to your garden beds all year round and use it. Copying these ideas will save you time, money, and frustration, and your yard will look great year-round. So that's my little garden meets football field trip. I love showing you that you don't have to do it all in one day. You can plan, have a game plan, and do it yourself. You don't have to have a full-time crew to get a yard that looks pretty. Just copy what works on campuses like Ole Miss. If you enjoyed this mix of garden inspiration and SEC traditions, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Patty B Gardening for more common sense gardening ideas, DIY flower arrangements, and fun southern garden tours. Drop me a comment and tell me which college campus that you'd like to visit and get ideas from. Thanks for hanging out with me at Ole Miss at the tailgate, and as always, hotty toddy and cheers, y'all.